fellow viewers, you're welcome to another episode of The N.O.W Show. Well, today's episode, I'm so excited. You know, I'm always excited when I'm with somebody very special. And today, I am with someone so special to me. My pastor, my children's pastor, my friend, my brother. Should I go on? Anyway, something that is unique to this person is his laughter. Nobody laughs like him. Once you hear that laughter, you know who it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Pastor Dr. Sola Fola-Alade. Pastor, thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
Finally.
Yeah.
We have been chasing you for over a year.
Well, thank God we've been able to make it happen.
Yes, so we thank God.
God's
We really thank God.
Yes.
Well, I'll call him PSFA. You know, some people call him Pops, but I'll just say PSFA for this interview. PSFA is the lead pastor of the Liberty Church, London. The Liberty Church, London. No, they are in Lagos, they are in Texas, they are in Canada. They are even now in the United Arab Emirates. Qatar. Wow, you know. He's doing amazing things for God. Pastor, well done. Well done. Publisher of many books. A leader of leaders. He wears a lot of caps, you know.
I'm blushing.
Devoted husband to Pastor Beans. And father to two amazing, you know, I call them outstanding sons. Tony and Tola. You know, we're so proud of them. Well done, Pastor. Well done, Pastor. So, you're welcome to the N.O.W Show.
My pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So today's episode,
Yes.
we're going to be talking about startups.
Okay.
So the episode is titled Winning in Startups. And we know that, when we talk about startups, I've
had quite a few.
You know. So you need to take us on this journey and also inspire people who, you know, are fearful of starting up, you know, because new things will always come. Especially at a period like this, a lot of people have to start all over again.
Definitely.
So, Pastor, thank you.
Okay, startups, it depends on, you know, are you talking about starting up church?
No.
Or starting up companies? or all of the above?
All of the above. All of the above.
Let me start from the beginning.
Okay.
So, for those who don't know, I originally trained as a medical doctor.
Yes.
And somewhere along the line, I guess before I finished medical school, I kind of knew I won't practice as a doctor. Yeah, so that's the story for another day.
Yes.
The next edition. But then when I finished, I practiced for 2 years.
Okay.
And somewhere in between, let's put it this way, I knew I had a calling to go into ministry.
Okay.
And I was concerned that, if I left medicine straight into ministry, I wouldn't be able to sustain myself.
Okay.
But I've always had a passion for art, design, graphics. I've always been a natural with that from school. So I then decided to, start a t-shirt making
Interesting.
company. This was in like 91, 92.
Wow, that's long ago.
Yes. So I left medicine
Okay.
to do that, and strangely, I started with one t-shirt. Making t-shirts and all of that, and it grew to quite a very successful company.
Left medicine to start making t-shirts.
Which most people thought I was insane.
In fact,
especially my dad, because he thought they spent so much money and made investments.
This is my doctor's son.
Yeah, and he wasn't proud of introducing me as a
t-shirt maker.
Yeah, but I actually, from when I started selling t-shirts, from the first month, I earned 10 times the income I earned as a doctor.
Wow.
On a monthly basis. A few months later, bought a car, and it grew. And then, so how many years? 2 years. I did that for about 2 years.
From what you've just said, Pastor, it's like when you go for your dreams, there's certainly something waiting for you. Because here you are,
Yes.
a medical doctor,
Yes.
well paid,
Yes.
but now you went into something that you wanted to do.
Yes.
And you got paid 10 times
10
what you
times-
were making.
10 times.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes. And what I would underscore as I go on is
Yes.
the fact that, well, you were talking about fear.
Yes.
And all of that. So the fear was there.
Mm.
Yeah, but I think the underlying factor for me was that I had God. I had God and I was passionate about it.
Okay.
So in spite of all the circumstances around me, my
Yes.
dad's displeasure,
Okay.
him bringing his friend, the professors to try to convince me, and all of that. The overriding factor was that I knew this was what God wanted me to do. Went into it, became very, and I did t-shirts for Texaco, GTB, so it wasn't just selling t-shirts, it was
Yes.
on a corporate level.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so 2 years thereafter, my pastor now said he wanted me to come to England for 2 weeks to stand in the gap for another pastor
Okay.
who had been sent to Denmark.
Okay.
So I was here for 2 weeks. That became 3 months. And then eventually they said, they wanted me to stay here. So anyway, long story short, I had to come here as a missionary.
Okay.
And so I left that business behind and literally just left it. And I had pending contracts.
Okay.
One to the point of quite a large amount at the time. But anyway, I had to start all over again here.
Yeah.
And when I got here, I thought I would be an assistant pastor. I was supposed to be an assistant pastor here of a private church. And they said, no, I'm going to start a new church.
Wow.
So I went.
So you thought you were coming to prepared ground.
Yes,
And they said, no, you
to
go on.
assist with to stay in the house, mission house, and all of that. So they said, no, you only be in this mission house for maybe 3 months. We're going to start a church, a new church. At the time, the church really had so much. I had £250 to start.
Wow.
And 6 people went out. It was again daunting. And the rest is history. That church, God helped us. I left the church up just under 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, so, but that was, that grew. God really helped the church. It's, grew in leaps and bounds. And then from there, and now that's how I ended up here. So 5 years ago.
It's so interesting, because when you were talking about your t-shirt business,
Yes.
what I heard you talk about, you mentioned passion.
Yes.
You mentioned, going after your dream.
Yes.
Despite the fact that you had a lot of opposition around you.
Yes.
So you were convinced that what you were doing was the right thing.
Yes.
It paid off for you.
Yes.
Then now you were sent to come here and
Yes.
set up church.
Yes.
You started a parish. And at the time you grew this parish in 20 years to, a mega parish, as it were. What is considered a mega parish under the, arm of the church where you were before. And of course, at the time that you were living, everybody thought that there's something wrong with this man.
I was insane. So that usually follows
How
me
do
around.
you? How do you?
That is my stock in trade.
So what convinces you? What drives you? How do you come about leaving something that you've grown to be very big and you're moving again? How?
I guess it's a number of factors. First of all, I think I'm just very resolute on doing God's will. That's my, and I guess the way I live my life as a Christian, I see. So Young Vitro used to, say that this was the secret of his supposed success. That when they ask him to tell me the formula, he just says, I pray and I obey. I pray and I obey.
And I obey.
Yeah. So when I pray, when God gives me a vision, when I see something, it doesn't matter, I will do that thing. And that's how I live my life daily.
So it's not even about the things that you are saying, it's about insights.
Yes.
Your own inner eyes.
Yes.
Wow.
It's what is revealed to me. Those who work with me know me. It's probably quite a difficult thing working with me because I'm always from the morning I've said that I've seen this, we're doing this now. Yeah. So so that's me. Vision is my thing. As God shows it, I'm doing it immediately. As God shows it, But I mean, in terms of this is an interesting one.
Yes.
Because when you've led a church for close to 20 years, the attachments.
Yes.
You are supposedly comfortable. Everything is, there's a TV ministry, there's so many things. We had the building, and then you now hear, go. Yeah. So in the instance of pray and obey.
Did you not first say, was that the devil speaking?
Between pray and obey, this time it was 5 years. It was pray before obey, because I needed to be very sure, because there were so many things that were at stake.
Yes.
My children in private school. I mean, you step out of that, and you know that, hey, you're on your own. So that was an interesting startup.
So in a place where you're comfortable and you're still hearing move,
yes,
you need to actually be obedient,
yes,
pray,
yes, but you need to
and move.
You need to be sure.
You need to be sure.
Yes, that's what I tell. Some other people saw me as soon as they said, "I did today." I said, "No, don't follow me," because no.
I like that. Don't follow me.
No, because you didn't hear my own word, and I said, "No. You are committing suicide if you do that." I said, because I didn't follow anybody. I heard very clearly, and I got to the point where I knew that if I didn't move, I would offend God. That's the point I got to. It was almost like as though God kept saying to, I got to a point where I kept giving excuses. Oh, but I want them to say, if you don't, this, that was where I got to.
Wow.
So it was something like the story of Moses in the scripture, when he came out of Egypt. He saw the Red Sea in front of him, but then there was a greater danger. Pharaoh, if he didn't cross, yes.
So it was either the Red Sea or Pharaoh,
or go back to Pharaoh.
or go back to Pharaoh.
Yeah, as in, literally go back to nothing. So I had to go forward.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
And here you are, a success story.
Well,
in
by the grace of
5
God.
years,
by the grace of God.
Phenomenal growth.
Yeah,
phenomenal
by all standards.
It's amazing, especially in London.
Yeah, God has surpassed our expectations.
Yes.
Over and over again. Over and over again. And the interesting thing, so the very first service we had when we started it, I mean, it was I held the mic like this. And and I was like, well, this is the rest of my life. And as I held the mic, I heard in my ears, literally. In fact, I heard it from my own mouth.
Yes.
Not that I thought about it.
Yes.
I said, it came out of my mouth like a prophecy that what you did not achieve in 20 years, you will do more in 2.
Wow.
I had already uttered it when I was like, I wanted to say, please, I didn't say that. Because
thank God you didn't take it back, because it came to pass.
Yeah, because after I said it, I realized what you said, you have to now do it too. And so it was clear that it was not me.
Wow.
Because I did not think about it. It just came out that what you didn't achieve. I'm like, that's work, who does it? Took 20 years of a lot of hard work to get to it, but God actually surpassed it.
Amazing.
Yeah, he did. So it bears testimony to the fact that obeying God, it does matter.
Obeying God does matter.
Yeah.
So, you have come on this journey, Pastor, and it's a success story, definitely by all standards. It's a success story. Whenever I come into the Liberty Church and I see the number of young people, especially vibrant, that is a vibrant church.
Yes.
I'm like, wow, he was sent for a time like this.
Yes.
So you've been on a journey. What would you say to somebody out there who knows that it's time to start again, but they're still having fears, in fact, that's why hearing the success story of PSFA. This is a PSFA is a. Tell them you're not spirit, you're a human being.
Yes. Very, very human.
Yeah. So, what would be your words to them?
Well, it may sound badly spiritual. What I would say. So, you're talking about startup church or startup business?
Startup in anything. You see, because you have the experience of business, you have ministry. So, I mean, two great aims.
Well, I will say, either.
Yes.
Don't believe your career unless you've heard God. You understand? Don't leave anything that like I said, everything from me anchors on what God said to me. That's because when the challenges come, that's what you have. And there'll be challenges. I mean, when I left the church, to start after 20 years, the first day we drove out, I have only one wife. And
by His grace.
And two children. So as we were driving in the car, two people, I won't say who, two people in the car were crying. Because we just left this church and it's like,
we're going into uncertainty.
What? So I'm sure they were looking at, and it was Father's Day on that day. And they were looking at me like, is this man okay? How? Because I was the one that was seeing something. And so that reality dawned. Hold on a minute, there's no church.
And here was a church that was synonymous with you.
Yes.
It's
for
like
the last 20 years. And
yes.
I'd walked away. There is no church. There's no church to go back to next Sunday. There is nothing. And so, whatever I had as my church is still in my head or my heart. And then we now drove to the place where God had told me we should go and start the church. It was Canary Wharf. We drove there and there was we couldn't even get parking.
Wow.
That's for our one car. well, just one car.
Yes.
Not one parking space on a Sunday. And we were driving around for like 30 minutes. And then I just said, Shola, are you okay?
Is this
what
place
have
you're
you
coming
done?
to?
Yes. And my wife and children didn't say anything, but they were looking at, I took them there to like encourage them, come, let's go and see that building. Let's see the future.
Yes.
We couldn't we couldn't find parking, and they must have been thinking, so where will you park, say 300, 500 cars if we can't find one? Long story short, we went to the hotel we were going to use. They were hostel. I'm like, we don't even have a place.
Wow.
So so what I'm saying is, you will face those things. You will face discouragement and things, but God, you said. And if you don't have God, you said, you will fall apart. Yeah. So I would say that for me is the integral thing. So in starting, like I said, don't now leave your career and say you're going to start a business. One, if you haven't had God, and also if it is career, I would say start the business on the side as a side hustle before you leave altogether.
Okay.
Yeah, so that you have a safety net.
You can always go back to
yes, unless you have a lot of savings. But ministry is different. You can't say you are going to start. Ministry, I would just basically say, some people look at what I've done and they say, they like they like the freedom. I would say don't. Stay where you are. Not everybody is called, different people. You said something which is critical. You've been to our church, and you can I can tell you maybe 60 to 70, let's say 60% of our church are under 25. They are under, people. Yes. And in fact, it's even in recent times that maybe older people came a bit, but a large proportion are. I pastor a lot of my colleagues' children.
That's true. As I said, my children's pastor.
Yes, there are people I grow, they keep calling me, my child is in your church, my child is in your church. So, I believe that we have a unique calling. Yes, so, for what, here in England, there are churches like Hillsong, and what we found in those days when I was pastoring in my denomination was that a lot of people were living for our members for those churches. Yes. And even my children, so one day we went and visited, actually said, Dad, can we start going to that? I said, are you okay? Your dad is the pastor. Wow. So
how will it be heard? The pastor's sons. I'm going to another church.
but when we started this church, I don't know, for whatever, it just seemed like some kind of a midway gap. There's nothing wrong with Hillsong.
Yes.
Hillsong is a great church. But for, and I've had one or two pastors in the past who complain to me that their children don't go to their church anymore.
Yes.
And I say, okay, they say they go to one church and they don't, I said, at least thank God they're in the faith. But what has happened is that a number of those people come to our church and they say, okay, at least we know you. So I don't know, in God's own wisdom.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe He just created an avenue for people who might have ordinarily fallen out of the faith and gave a different interpretation through this. I don't know. That is my understanding there.
So for somebody who is listening to you and is saying, "But how do I hear from God?"
Well, that's it. That's good to be.
How do I hear from God? It takes God for me to win over setups.
They will have to. In talking about hearing from God, I did a 4-week teaching on it. So it's not something that can be, talked about in a few minutes.
It's possible for everyone to hear from God.
Everyone can hear from God. Every Christian. And God even speaks to unbelievers. But to hear Him properly, you have to be on His channel and on His own frequency. You may get the occasional whatever without knowing Him, but you have to be connected to Him.
Certainly, that's very important. That's very, very important. Connection to God, to hear from God. Coming back, I'm going to be going to ministry now because I remember the church that you were pastoring before you started the Liberty Church, and you are taking over a games arcade. Remember? And you are turned it into this huge, monstrous, I knew that area very well. And I came there one day and I saw the transformation, and I'm like, wow. I mean, you said you went to Canary Wharf, you couldn't find parking space. This was a complex you could drive into
and has the 1,000 car parking spaces.
Swallow the cars, and yet you left all of that. The comfort or a senior pastor, everybody knew you were, like I said, you were synonymous with this church and a mega church, and yet you left all that. There are people who are dissatisfied where they are, but because where they are has become an empire, kind of. You know when I say empire, you know what I'm talking about. Has become an empire. It's a comfort zone. Fear of the unknown. They don't want to. What would you be saying to that kind of person?
Well, once again, like I said, if one moved every time that one feels discomforted, then we'll keep moving at every instant. So we're talking about from marriage, we're talking of jobs that we're not happy in and stuff like that. So, but I hear what you're saying, which is, so one can move as a result of the fact that you are going through problems. And then that pushes you forward. But then you could also be in a situation where you hear God, but you are comfortable.
And
you
are fearful to leave all that
out
comfort.
Of fear of So I
and
hear.
You don't want to leave your emperor status.
So but the strangest thing is that was the easiest thing for me to do. So to answer your question about that whole thing about holding on to things, they say stagnant waters stink.
Wow.
Which means if you are not flowing. And when flowing, and it's the same, even at Liberty Church now, it's the same thing. I'm not going anywhere, but the issue is, one time, we started the church. After a while, we were getting comfortable where the church is now comfortable. And God said, start another service. I'm like, and we started it. And then by the next year, start another service.
A fourth service.
And then start another. And then he now said, go and start another church. I mean, the honest fact is, you see, those things are not easy. If you know what I mean, it's easy to rest. But then the Lord showed me a scripture concerning Jesus. He said he went from town to town, and city to city. And he said to me, stagnant water stinks.
Water stinks.
Yes, which means if you stay in a place for too long, and it's not just a location.
That's right.
But if you stay resting on your supposed accomplishments, those accomplishments will swallow you up.
So you just have to keep flowing.
Yes, because if you stay stagnant, things that are stagnant degenerate. They degenerate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. Wow, Pastor Sola, I can go on and on and on talking about this issue with you, but I'm sure that you've been able to convince somebody out there who has had any fears or any about startups. That you see, the thing is that once you trust in God, God will certainly be with you to guide you through and make sure that you make a success of whatever it is. Pastor Sola, it's been so amazing talking to you on this subject, and I know that well, we're going to talk about more subjects, and we have something that we do on the Now Show, which we call the last word.
Okay.
So, something that you want to leave with our viewers, about this topic.
Okay. Well, I am very passionate about one or two things, and the first is about the ability to hear God. It's something, I think that's perhaps my overriding passion, my ability to hear God, and for people's ability to hear God. So, I mean, in the light of what we've spoken about, I would say that anybody hearing what we've spoken about, startups and whatever it is, the first thing is you need to go back to God and know what God wants for you. Don't be moved by emotions, by your situation, or by the discomforts around you. Go and be certain about hearing from God. The second thing is also go with your passion. But remember, I said the hearing God bit must come first, because you can be passionate about something. I mean, it may not be what God wants for you. It may be passionate about something, but it may not be what I'm actually when I was younger, I used to be good at painting, design. I haven't painted or done any of those stuff for 30 years. So it's not every passion you follow. But it's important to know what God wants you to do and do it. And if God doesn't want you to do anything, stay where you are. That's it. Simple.
Stay where you are. Thank you so much, Pastor Sola. I heard go. So, viewers, go. Thank you so much, Pastor Sola.
Thank you very much.